Hi, and welcome to the Packer TV. I'm Dean Cooper.
And I'm Tamara Furlansky. The Packer TV is your source for the latest industry news.
Now, later in the show, we'll tell you what those in the produce industry did to help women fighting cancer.
Here's what else is coming up.
We'll head to the New York Produce Show and Conference.
Arizona suspends inspections in Mexico.
And a late start for Florida citrus.
This cast is proudly brought to you by DNE World Fruit Sales, bringing you the freshest citrus from around the world.
In a city with a nickname like the Big Apple, it's no surprise the New York Produce Show and Conference is a must for those in the industry. With more on the recently wrapped up event, here's Greg Johnson.
Buyers. They were the focus of the first New York Produce Show and Conference, November 11th to 13th. You couldn't miss them. And it was smart of organizers to let them in without paying registration fees. Expo Committee Chairman Paul Neeland, VP of Produce for King's Supermarkets, told me most of the major retail players in the New York metro area were there. 212 companies exhibited, and there were nearly 2,000 attendees. Neeland says next year should be even bigger, with plans to expand to more than 300 exhibitors. It's scheduled for early November in the same Hilton in Midtown Manhattan. This is editor Greg Johnson for the Packer TV.
There are changes at the U.S.-Mexico border as the Arizona Department of Agriculture suspends produce inspections. With more, here's the Packers' Fred Wilkinson.
Citing safety concerns, the Arizona Department of Agriculture has suspended inspections of produce shipments in Mexico, threatening longer waits to cross the border. Winter produce imports are set to pick up through the Mariposa port of entry in Nogales, putting importers in the position of having to line up warehouse space. While there is space available on the U.S. side, much of it requires upgrades to bring it up to standards, particularly for temperature-sensitive commodities, says Lance Youngmeyer, president of the Fresh Produce Association of the Americas. Last season, Arizona ag inspectors examined 31,000 lots, with about 20,000 of those being conducted in Nogales, Sonora, Youngmeyer tells me, adding that the association is negotiating with the ag department to resolve the issue. This is Fred Wilkinson for the Packer TV.
Representatives of the Southern California produce industry hit the streets in Duarte, California to fight women's cancers. More than 150 members of Team Produce raised $15,000 during the Walk for Hope on November 7th. Funds are going to support the City of Hope Cancer Hospital and Research Center in Duarte. Produce companies also donated more than $25,000 in corporate sponsorships, and they provided the $80,000 worth of fruits and vegetables given to walk participants. Team Captain Marty Craner, owner and president of B&C Fresh Sales in Orange, California, was pleased with the industry turnout.
This is our fourth year with Team Produce, and we are so pleased. It started as a real grassroots effort. This year we have over 155 Team Produce walkers. We've been able to raise over total in-kind and dollars and corporate sponsors over $100,000. It's gratifying to see the local produce and floral retailers, wholesalers, brokers come out and support this wonderful effort for the City of Hope.
Several similar walks are held each year in cities throughout the U.S., and you can still donate by visiting cityofhope.org.
It's Spanish clementine season, and DNE World Fruit Sales is making sure you have the best variety for your customers. We've been importing Spanish clementines into the U.S. since 1998, and this season will bring an increased volume of the healthy snack. Under the Ocean Spray brand, we offer many promotional opportunities, as well as 3-pound bags and 5-pound boxes. Spanish clementine season ends in February, and DNE World Fruit Sales will ensure your customers don't miss out.
You'll be seeing more Chilean produce as supplies are high. However, there's one big exception. Here's Andy Nelson with more.
Importers of Chilean produce say supplies of most commodities should be up this season, with avocados the big exception. Grapes are among the fruits expected to see a boost, says Tristan Kieva of Pando Brothers, which expects to bring in 1.5 million cartons from Chile this season. A trend toward clamshell pints and other larger packs signals a big spike in blueberry imports too, importers say. U.S. consumers also should see more Chilean cherries this winter. Avocados, however, are another story. Some preseason estimates have been cut in half, with as few as 100 million pounds now expected, down from 300 million pounds last season. For the Packer TV, this is Markets Editor Andy Nelson.
It looks like a late start and smaller than usual fruit across the board for growers in the Florida citrus region. Freezing temperatures that struck Florida in January and the continuous cold that ran through February and March caused a later bloom, which delayed this fall start of grapefruit, oranges, and tangerines. Green River Marketing President Pat Rogers says there is a lot of small fruit in the groves, and there is a tremendous opportunity for consumers to get good value on the smaller fruit, the 48s and 56 reds. While only 4% of Florida's overall orange crop goes to fresh market, about 40% of Florida's grapefruit and 70% of its specialty citrus ships to fresh market channels.
In today's opinion piece, Ashley Bentley discusses if menu diversification pays off when it comes to produce consumption.
It seems like produce consumption at restaurants has to be on the rise, but the reality is that restaurants still struggle to fill seats, let alone to sell the traditionally less popular dishes meant to offer healthy alternatives. According to recent research from the Produce for Better Health Foundation, Americans eat only 11% of their fruits and vegetables at restaurants. Take into account the fact that altogether we still don't eat enough produce, that's a pretty minuscule amount. Moms surveyed by PBH say a better range of fruits and vegetables offered at restaurants is the answer. Menu diversification adds cost, but it needs to be done, not only to address the food service industry's social responsibilities, but more important from a business standpoint because demand is there. This is Ashley Bentley for the Packer TV.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, that does it for us on the Packer TV this week.
But we will be back on Monday with a brand new offering, the Packer TV Daily.
So if you haven't already, sign up for our email alert so you'll be up to date. Take care.